So what are we doing? Little boy shorts.
Little boy shorts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Welcome to something different. Little boy shorts. These are so cute.
They're darling. I can't wait for the boys to wear them at the beach together.
Yes.
What size is James? Do we need to make James a pair?
James is a tank.
Okay.
I
have
think
one of
he's
those.
he is. I think he has to wear like a 3T.
Okay.
So his shorts like come down halfway down his calves, almost to his ankle. Yeah.
He's
Okay.
a cool dude in
Yes.
those.
Hi everyone. Welcome to something different. And today's theme is little boy shorts.
Short.
Is this week 1 of little boy? Week 2. So last week was
We cut them and we serged them, and we serged them on the anniversary serger.
okay.
Today we're
And
going
so
to
they're-
finish them.
Oh, here I
Here's
see the
here's
seams.
the pair that we did. This is what we started.
Okay. I'm going to turn this. Oh, here
So
you
that's
go.
where we
Okay.
are.
Okay.
So
Wow.
we did that.
That
and
looks really good. Let me put
Yeah.
it this way. Maybe I'll
it was
hold
fun.
these here.
And I hope people are learning
Wow.
what to do with their serger.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have a serger, that you want a serger.
Right.
Because these
Right.
are really,
They are.
they're great sergers.
Uh-huh. That's
So
it.
today we're going to use the Triumph because we're going to, this one, the seam on these I just did on the machine, but we're going to do the cover stitch
Right.
on our pair.
Okay. And I
So,
hear
yeah.
Steve getting ready for that out there. So I think we're going
He's
to.
going to do it on that one?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he's going to come out and he's
Okay.
going to show him cover stitch. And he has strips of fabric cut too. So
Oh, he was doing belt loops.
belt loops. Oh,
You
okay.
could put belt loops on that. Wouldn't that be cute?
Yeah, it would. It would.
Little
All
boys
right.
could hang their things on them.
Now, so look at this linen shorts.
So what we'll do at the end, hopefully we're going to have time because I know we're running a little bit late. I left the shorts on my sewing machine, so I had to run home and get them.
So it's going to be a short
it's
show.
been it's going to be a short
It
show
has
about
been a crazy
shorts.
day. It has been
been.
a crazy day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I'd like to do is show you how this is a lined pair.
Wow. This would be
I know, I
something they'd
love
wear to a
these.
wedding
Yes.
or
So
Easter
you could wear
Sunday.
them for anything fancy or Sundays. Wear them to church. But these are so they're lined. So the instructions tell you if you're doing a lined pair how to make the lining at the same time. So that I have the other. This is for my older grandson, and the little pair that I have that we're going to do.
Right here.
I'll show you how to do later.
Oh,
Is how you line them.
pouches. That could
my
have been
gosh.
something we showed because I can't live without these anymore. So
And I found that putting all my thread and everything in them is really helpful because I am doing back and forth. So you just have to remember to pick it up off the sewing table before you leave the house.
before you leave. Yes, yes.
So yeah, so
uh-huh.
I think that and we're doing the beach in September, so those are for their beach pictures. I thought that'd be really cute. Who
Oh
knows
yeah,
what the shirt's going to be, but
yeah. Well, you.
that's where we are.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So
All
do
right.
you need to give the spiel?
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's right. I
That's
always forget
Joni's
to
job.
do that. Yeah. So if you're new here and you're on Facebook, you're going to want to register because we're going to show you, we're going to teach you, and then we're going to show you products to buy. So we've got some good things lined up today. So you just go down to the comment bar on Facebook and type in the word register, then press enter, and a new screen will pop up. And I just need you to put in 4 things: your first name, last name, email address, and your phone number. And then advance to the next screen, and they're going to make you put in a username and password. And like, I always dwell on that, don't you? And it's like, but just use the same old one you always use, right?
Makes it easy to remember.
Yeah. And then you'll be ready to, if you see something you want to buy, there'll be a bubble up above. And I guess he has, so it has the pattern in the bubble right now. And if you want that, you're just going to type in sold space 115 and then press enter, and that will put one of the pattern in your cart. So that's how it works. So as we show different items, PJ will be putting something else in the bubble, and you'll see all the great stuff to get. So
Stuff we love.
yes, stuff we love, definitely. Okay. Now, if you really got to download our app, because then you'll get notified every time we go on. And so we do go on. So on Mondays, it looked like they were Mondays is Material Madness,
Right.
but it looked like they were going to change the time. So, but anyhow, you'll get notified. Tuesdays is two
Tiffany.
shows.
It's Tiffany.
Tiffany at noon, and then Technique Tuesday. So yesterday was
We did
the quilted jacket. Yeah, that
And
went
all
really well.
of that luminous came in today.
Yeah,
2 big
okay.
boxes.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. So that's when we switch to Steve demoing the Sergers, I'm gonna bolt out the door
Okay.
and go to the other place and help them with kits. But then Tuesdays at 3 is quilted jackets. Or the Enchanted Pumpkin
those
will
are
be next
beautiful.
week. I got to show them
With,
the Enchanted Pumpkin.
Kathleen and Debbie do that, and they are so pretty.
Yeah, there's 3 different ones.
And we got this back in. Yay!
Yeah, so next Tuesday at 3, they're going to be demoing this. And then Wednesdays is something different at noon. So we don't want to be specific, but we would like to feature Sergers. We would. And then at 3, it's going to be Kimberbell, and we have unbelievable bargains with Kimberbell. So 2 pallet
Some
loads
really
of-
good, yeah.
Yeah, so really good stuff.
things.
Yeah, so and then Thursday is our big day, and we're on at 7 p.m. for our favorite things. And then Friday is my day at 3 o'clock. I do something in IQ Designer. Yeah, so free classes all around. So
You can't miss one.
no, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something to learn all the time.
Yeah. And
And
just
free.
little bit by little bit, you'll be learning your machine inside out, and you'll enjoy it. You know, you made
Yeah.
the investment, and we want you to watch us. It doesn't matter where you bought it. We want you to join in with us.
And it shows you how to use things that you didn't know you had on your machine. Or
Right.
you were like, oh, gee, I didn't know that was there.
Yeah, I don't have that, do I? Yes, you do.
And that's what we're
Yes,
trying
you
to do. We want to
That's what
educate
somebody
you.
was mentioning automatic applique, and they said, "Oh, automatic applique." I said, "Baby Lux had that on their machine since the Elegante, right?"
Right?
Yes. So what?
Yeah.
15 years? Yeah.
At least.
And we never
Yeah.
use it. I got to do something with it. There's so many things.
There's so
on
many
these
things that you're
machines.
trying to show, and there's just so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
what step are you on now?
So we are on, where is mine? Here's the sheet. All right, so on the shorts, we finished, let's see, step 6. So we have the pockets. So the pockets were stitched, we top stitched those, and then the back, which is this, we need to do the waistband and the back. So step 7 and 8.
And you find these patterns are real easy to follow.
I
right?
love these patterns. Yeah, I don't. If you all have been working on them and let me know, because I
This
really
is it.
like them. So this is the pattern.
Okay.
It's the Robert, and it's size 6 months to 6. And Children's Corner patterns include every pattern size in there. So it's not one that you get one big sheet and you have to trace everything off. You get individual
thick.
patterns.
Wonderful.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when they're all. This is what it looks like when you take them all and cut them apart.
Uh-huh.
So I put them in little Ziploc bags. So there's a bag for each size, and the bags are thick because it's the shirts and the pants
shirts and pants.
and pants.
So shorts, pants, and short sleeve shirt and
long
long
sleeve.
sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
That's great.
it's a really good deal.
wow.
And there was somebody asked about saving your patterns. So if there's a pattern that you use a lot, and I was going to bring it to show you how to do it, but those bags you get from the dry cleaners,
Mm-hmm.
if you put tissue paper down and put the bag in the
Right.
middle and then put your pattern on top of it and you don't have to use a really hot iron, but it will
Melt it.
laminate your
Uh-huh.
patterns together.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so
I've
it's a little
heard
bit
that.
stirdier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned that in college.
See, so this would work for. She was asking about James, and he's
Mm-hmm.
2, but he's a hefty boy, isn't he? Like you,
Yeah.
if he doesn't want to be picked up, you can't pick him up. So you
They
just,
look like a little tank.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I have
He's
one
a little
like
tank.
that too.
And so when you buy the size that fits his waist, the shorts go down like mid calf,
Yeah.
longer than mid calf.
And these are easy.
Yes.
These are really easy to make the adjustments to. particularly because those already have pants.
Yeah.
So you have to shorten them anyhow, so you can shorten his a little more.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, so that's the pattern. It does not come
I
any
could
bigger
do
than a 6
Gray and James something matching.
for the beach.
They would like that. Yes.
There you go. We have time.
Okay, we do.
And
Yes.
the kit comes with the 3 different fabrics. We just thought these all were really cute, so we couldn't
Yeah.
just.
Here. I'll
We couldn't
move
wait.
This
So
so
there's
you could lay
3
that out.
These are the 3. These are the 3 patterns. There's bicycles and motor scooters and I forget what they used to call those
VW.
vans.
Yeah,
But
VW.
vans and umbrellas, surfboards. There's a little moped, and then the fish. So
Okay.
I opted for the fish to do that.
Okay.
And then these all will come with. It's a third of a yard, so it's 12 inches. So you'll have plenty to do the pockets too for all of them. And you should. It's a yard of each, so you should have enough to do at least 3 pair, maybe
Uh-huh.
maybe a little more.
Yeah.
And then the elastic, and it's 3/4 inch elastic is
and
what
that comes
it's
in the kit.
That comes in the kit, and you have
Okay.
enough in this roll. It's a yard to do all 3 pair.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. We'll
All
have
right.
that in the bubble in a little bit when we show everything. So
Okay, so that's
yeah.
that. All right.
PJ, put the kit, the fabric kit in the
Sure.
bubble. Okay. All right.
So we are going to go to the serger, and I'm going to show you how we threaded the. We did the 55th anniversary one last week. This is the top of the line
The
machine,
Triumph.
which
yeah.
I really like. Again, it has the cover stitch with it. So if you're a garment maker particularly, they're great to have that as a feature in it. But I did watch one of the videos when Joni did the quilting on the serger, and
Uh-huh.
she used the cover stitch to do the lines.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought that was really good too.
Uh-huh.
So
okay.
we all can use it.
So
Okay, so we're going to go to
we'll
the.
head over
I'm going
there.
to go to here.
PJ's
I'm going to do the Triumph,
Okay.
and we're going to thread it first.
Ooh, I better.
Okay.
You have-
I
This room
realized.
has a slant.
I know.
To
I
it.
realized I was putting thread in the
It's right there.
thread tray for this machine, and every time I'd open the side, it would slide back. So, okay.
All right.
All right. So this is the Triumph. There are 8 spools because, again, it does the cover stitch as well. So you need those spools for that. We have there's a cover, if you're just doing a cover stitch regular, there's a tray that you put on for the cover stitch. But Baby Lock made this new tray, it came out last year, which this you can keep on all the time, either whether you're sewing regular or not. What the difference is this one has this opening for the blade. So the knife is in here that's going to cut our fabric as we go. Can we see that?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what we want to do when we're going to thread it is we turn from serging to threading. We turn our hand wheel until it locks like that. You can't miss it. Our presser foot is up. You always want to make sure that your presser foot is up when you're threading any machine. All right, then. All right, so we want the lower looper. So we do the lower looper, the upper looper, and then 2 needle threads. I'm just going to put these through here. And these just lock down. Okay. Well, it helps if it comes off easily. And this is serger thread, and serger thread is a little bit different than your regular sewing thread. It has a little more lint on it, so I really don't recommend using it in your sewing machine. All right, so we're doing, and it's 1 and 2, and that's your needles, your upper and your lower. These are for your chain stitching or your cover stitch, and this is the chain looper over here. So it's a lot going on. All right, so we're going to start with our lower looper. You can hear, you lock it in place in the back, and then you pull down to your lap. Where the L, that's our lower looper. Put that in there. And in and comes out the other side.
Wow.
I demonstrated this for a lady once, and
Gets me every time.
yeah, she's like, okay, you don't have to show me anything else. If you're using heavier threads, it's really nice. You put the heavier threads usually in the chain looper, but
So you
again,
just
it
did,
just shoots it right through.
you just did the
I just did the upper looper.
Upper looper? Okay.
Yep. Okay, then we're going to do, let's see, we do have 2 needles in. All right, so this one comes across, and then it comes up and it goes through tension. And then it has it's a little different.
No, that one goes around the
little
hook.
Yeah. And then we bring down, this is our needle threader, and here's the magic of this one. You hold this by the eye. Oh, I pulled it out. You don't want it to get caught behind it because then it does unthread it. All right, you hold it by the eye.
Shipping is $8 unless you hit $75,
$75.
and then it's free shipping.
Yep.
Right?
All right, I don't want to unthread it. Okay, but it's beautiful.
It's a thing of beauty.
It really is. All right, so we got that one. You get all these threads in there. All right, and then we do the second one. And the same thing. Lock, bring it around, bring it around. And you have, the front needles are for your cover stitch. So you don't want to hook your, you don't want to hook it into the front because you're using the back one. Oh. Make sure your thread is not caught under there. And then we do the same thing. And that one, oop, got caught around the foot. All right, so that's the second one.
You mean it's already, you threaded it
All threaded.
that quickly?
It was painless, yes. All right, where? Okay. To make sure I have 4 threads. All right, there's one. I think the other one's hidden right there. I don't think I made it long enough.
So you just want to
I
pull
didn't
them
do
to
it
the
long
back?
enough. Yeah.
Okay.
So you should always have 4 threads coming out. All right, then we turn it back to serging, and we close our doors. And this one is, let me see the,
It'll be hard for me to see what those settings are on the knobs, but if you could
Okay.
just tell us what they
so
are.
this one is set at a 7.5 width and a
7.5 width,
3 length.
3
What
length.
that looks
Okay.
like. And
Now we just need something to sew.
I know. Well, I'm going to be brave. So we're going to sew the back seam because that's the next thing. And you try to get it just so that it starts at the knife. And I did put a couple pins in this at the curve. The curves are tricky. You want to try to straighten them as much as you can. Just kind of pull your fabric to the side so it almost looks like you're gathering it. And this chain's off, which not all sergers do that, but you see how that makes it nice and flat when you're pulling it. You're straightening this so you're getting the curve back here. All right, and then, so then we add the waistband onto the front. So this is above the pockets, and the back is longer than the front. because the pattern pieces are because you have a waistband on the front. All right. You do not want to run over pins on your serger. It's really not pretty. So we are going to press. Oh, I didn't
Okay,
turn
coming
the
back
iron
up.
on. Yep, we're going to press.
All right.
And give that a minute.
So no practice. So I even before we started, you just went straight into it. I love that.
Oh, yeah, we really need to today. We want to make sure we're not running behind. It seems to be. Does happen.
It's one of those days. We got to
Yeah.
keep it short today.
Yeah. So you can see the side seams, the front and the back are now going to be closer to matching because this is going to be our elastic casing, whereas this is our waistband for the front. So the casing will match. We'll do that. We're gonna stitch across the top of the back, but I want to make sure we get everything pressed first. Oh, that one buckled. You know, that's a good, let me pull my scissors. This little corner has a little buckle in it. So I'm going to snip that right at the top, and that'll make it lay flat. I did follow the directions with serging, you can't open a seam. So you need to, with the serger, they're going to lay flat though, even though they're not open. All right, so you press this toward the waistband. And what I do is I press it on both sides. I do the seam side first, and then I go to the front, and that's going to make sure that it's really, really smooth. All right, and then we're going to press. What does this tell us? That's right, reinforce. Okay, it doesn't tell us, so I'm going to just do it to one side. And again, because it's a curve, when you're doing the curve, if you do it from one side and you pull your seam to the other, it's going to be pressed very nice.
That's very helpful.
Very nice on both sides. All right, so because we're doing this on the serger, what I'm going to do, and it does not tell you in here, I'm going to serge across this because I'd like that I can flip it back rather than having to turn it under. When you serge it, it finishes it. So it's going to look good. So I'm going to go to the serger and do just straight across. And it's just to finish it. All right. And our seam is going in the right direction. So that is way easier than having to measure it and trim it and everything else. So, all right.
Fast.
Yeah, it's really fast. Okay. So we're going to, let's see, we're going to stitch the side seams. And you do need to be a little bit careful at the bottom because they do give you this little bump for the hem. So you want to keep that one. So I am going to put some pins in this, and I'm going to stitch it from the bottom up. And where I really like to pin is where this seam is, to make sure that that's going to be stitched down. If you stitch it right at the seam line at the bottom, that usually does it and keeps it nice. And remember, we also had the pocket, so you might want to pin that. All right, so that's one side, and then I flip it over because we're stitching it in the same direction. There's a lot of things that you stitch in the same direction, but also stitching from the bottom up. They taught us that years ago, to make sure that it's the fullest to the narrowest. Why? I can't really tell you, but
Fullest to the narrowest stitch.
so you're going
Or
from the
the-
widest part to the narrowest part, the bottom
okay,
to the top.
of the garment.
Yeah. I don't know if that was an old wives' tale or. I don't know.
I don't know. Those old wives' tales usually have something to
There's
them.
something to them, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to stitch the side seam. We are almost finished. So you could knock out a couple pair of these in an afternoon, really. What I do is have a cutout day and then a sewing day. So I get lots of things cut and then sewn. You kind of pull back on the beginning.
Marilyn says maybe because she says because of the straight of grain. Is that possible?
That could be. It's going to be straight either way you're doing it, too. Okay, there's one side. We're getting some of our threads in there. All right, then the other. A serger is always going to sound a little bulkier than what your sewing machine, because baby lock sewing machines are very quiet. A serger is going to be a little more noise. I think one of the other differences with the baby lock, I think you chain off that you can't do that with other machines. All right, let's make sure that's flat. I'm gonna make sure my pocket's flat.
They still say to let a skirt hang before hemming.
Oh yeah, that is because the weight of it may change or it may not be evenly stitched across. So yep. All right, so now I'm going to press these seams to the back. And since I don't have an ironing board that's flat, I think I'm going to do it this way and do it on the inside. Yep, that'll work better. All right, so I'm going to press them to the back so that it's going to be away from the pockets. All right, I know it doesn't look really easy, but without having a circular thing to iron on, we will make do. One of the things that that you might need when you're using a serger is a double-eyed needle. So all of our seams are going to be covered. But if you, especially if you're working on like a quilt or something that's straight, what you want to do is take the ends, which I think, oh, here's one. All right, so what you want to do is you want to take your double-eyed needle, which is in the box. And we know that these are
So that comes with the Serger
Comes with
kit.
the Serger case. It has the scissors. It has another blade. It has, I think this is a cutter. And there's another tweezers.
What is the thing in the middle? Because it looks like you clean your teeth with that thing.
It does look like a dental implement. Probably for getting inside the machine and doing, to clean it and to get into the little spaces. They have different spaces than the the sewing machine. All right, so what you would do is you take the double-eyed needle and you thread all of these. And so now it's double-eyed, and you slide this back into your seam. Okay, if my fingers will work.
And this
There
is
we
just
go.
on the sides that you are not doing another stitch on.
This would be I call them enclosed seams. So if all of your serge seams are enclosed by something else,
Right.
then you don't need to do this. But if you have something, the pillowcases we did, that was a good example of something that you bring it back in and it's hidden. So it's a good technique. But the double-eyed needles, I think the only way you can get them these days is in a kit because they're, for some reason, maybe it's the supply chain. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so then they're telling us for the unlined pants only. So the lined pants, and I'll show you the difference. So the lined pants, at this point, you put your lining. Here's your pants, and here's your lining, and we're going to match them, and we're going to stitch them together on the other side. So I'm not going to do that one right now. I want to finish these with you. So we go to, let's see, unlined pants. Okay, so they have you folding the hem edge up. A quarter and then an inch. So what I do is take my hot hammer, which
Hot hammer.
Yeah, but I have mine.
You have one
I have my
open?
opened one. Yeah, maybe I didn't take it out of my bag. The hot hammer is your friend for everything. Oh no, maybe I did. No, look on the table. It's got to be here. It's lost in our day.
You know.
I know.
That's okay. I think
All right,
we could
we'll
just
open another one.
we could just open this one.
Make sure it's not. Nope, not under the mat.
Carefully. So that's nice how they describe how to do shorts without lining. Is
Right.
that correct?
So that most of the time you would be using it with, just for, these are pants that I would make these just for kids to play in, not really anything special. But if you're doing one like in the linen, that for a special occasion, you would like those probably to be lined. All right, so we're going to turn this up 1.25 inches. So there are markings on here. Let me show it so you can see the inch. So there are 1/4 inch markings. They have a 5/8 down here and a 3/8. So they are marked, but other than that, you have to guess. All right, so we're going to do this 1.25 inches. And then you press it, the beauty of the hot hammer. And the edge of the hot hammer, it doesn't make it a very, like a sharp crease. It makes it kind of soft, so it's a nice hem edge. And I do like this one because it's a little bit longer. You have to be careful though. Sometimes they're curved, so you don't want to use the whole length of it. All right, 1.25 inches. Let's make sure we get that good at the seam. All right, and then the last part of it.
Is there a difference for the double-eyed needle? Is there a difference between the two sides?
No, they're the same size.
Same size?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're two different needles in there, though one is a little bit smaller eyed, I think. Let me see. Yeah, this one's a smaller eyed.
So it comes with 2 different
Two
sizes. That's great.
different sizes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you do both sides. And it tells you to turn it under a quarter. So if you're using a sewing machine, yes, you turn it under a quarter and then go. But because we're doing this, I measure it this way. It's so much faster. I used to, before all of these fun gadgets came in, I would use my sewing machine. If it said like turn it under an inch, I would baste it an inch and then have my inch go to the ironing board, fold it on the basting line, and then you could pull the basting line out later. But now you don't have to do that. All right, this one, 1.25 inches.
That instrument is used for with the cover stitch to bring your top stitch to the front, to bring it to the front of the machine. Oh, okay.
This one?
The dental tool.
Oh.
I don't know what it's called. I'm just
I
going to
don't
call
either.
it a dental
The
tool.
dental tool.
But
That's
thank
what it
you,
looks
Linda.
like. Yeah, I do have a Triumph at my house. I bought it in the middle of moving, and so I didn't want to use it because I didn't want it to be sitting out, when you're selling your house. So I appreciate anything that you guys know too, for me, because I haven't used all of it. All right, so now we have it stitched so that it's what I would do at this point. If you have it that you're going to turn on, we're not doing the hem yet. We're going to stitch the legs together so that we can then flip it. But you can serge this so that when we cover stitch it, it's just going to be flat. So the cover stitch will cover it, so you can do it either way. So that's the bottom of it. And then we go to, they do hem it? No, they don't hem it yet. They do the inner legs. All right, so to do the inner legs, again, we're going to, you match the hem, and you match a couple places. How's our time?
We're doing
good?
okay.
Okay. I don't want to rush anybody through this, but you can always go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
All right. I haven't seen anyone's finished Lillian dresses yet. I love seeing I know Sherry shared her her Mary D, but we haven't seen any Lillians yet. So if you've got a Lillian, I'd love to see them. All right, so the other nice thing is this is your whole seam. It's very little. All right, so we stitched this, and then we're going to do the waistband. We're almost finished.
Oops. Sorry.
All right,
Okay.
ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Again, we have that little seam. It goes over, this is 2 layers on the top and 2 layers on the bottom, and it just zips right over it. Okay. So these, again, to press in one direction, we already have our line. So the edge of that has, all right, I'm just going to pin this so you can see what it looks like. Okay, that matches that one. Look how cute they're getting. All right, again, we don't have to worry about that seam because it's going to go with the, it's going to be covered with the cover stitch. Okay, so there's one. And let's get the other one folded, and then we can press everything at once. All right, make sure that lays flat. The cover stitch you do on the top of the machine, on the right side. You don't do it on the wrong side. So you have to kind of know where you're stitching.
Would you ever have a problem using clips?
No.
So you have plenty of clips, but you like to use pins.
We laughed about that yesterday. I'm so used to pins, but yes, clips would work great. And I do have probably a couple hundred clips at my house too. I just don't, I always pull the pins out first. All right. So the bottom is finished. And then,
Too cute.
aren't those cute? All right. So our next thing is going to be the casing, which is number 16. So it tells you to fold and press. And actually, I should probably have just top stitched the whole thing because I can turn it all under. And I think I'll do that. Let me do that real quick. And then we'll get the, then you'll see how nice it is to have it serged across. All right, we'll get you in there. All right. So I may have to use the double needle after all. And I think that while I'm going to restitch the back again just so that it's one line. This is when a free arm's really nice. So that one is done. So I'll take the double-eyed needle and run it through because this will not be a covered seam. And then just run it through the back. What do you say? The anniversary Serger was 55 years ago, so that's pretty amazing.
55 years.
55 years ago.
And
All
I understand, like, Baby Lock invented the Serger, is that correct?
They brought the overlock to the home market.
Okay.
So they were the first ones to do it. Yeah, I remember
The home
thinking,
market.
Baby Lock, well, that seemed like an unusual name for a sewing machine. And, you know, you knew Singer and you knew other names. But I thought, wow, that now made sense because they were the first overlocks. All right. So this is going to be, I believe it's another 1.25 inches. 1.5 inches. Okay. So this is going to be 1.5 inches all the way around. But I can tell you, this one at the waistband, I already have it because the interfacing is in it. And it's nice and smooth. So I'm just going to press that first. And the nice thing is that you don't need elastic all the way around. So the front is nice and flat. We do have the Parker pants is the other pattern that we do sell, that it is elastic all the way around. I just think these look very neat and tidy.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
nice compliment. Sure, you are an awesome instructor.
Oh, thank you.
She has
I love doing this.
she has a Triumph and she's used it once, but she has a ton to learn.
I've used it more than once, but not more than 10 times. How's that? I took it home and I set it up in my new apartment. This is actually 1.5 inches. 1 3/8 1.5 inches. All right. Either way. All right, 1.5 inches. Almost 1.5 inches. So we're going to put that one 1.5 inches and press it back.
Hard to is it hard to justify a serger? I think no.
No. I had a Serger before. I had a Bernina that was probably 25 years old, and I used it and I loved it. And then I had a period that I was doing different things and working and I wasn't really sewing, and so I actually lent it to my friend. And then when I got it back, I hated it because I saw what the new ones do, and it's, I would say almost every customer that comes in that says that they don't like their serger, there's one complaint: threading.
Threading it.
And that was it. And you would tie them off and then pull it through, and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And especially if you had, say you had a white project, so you had white thread on it, and you needed to do something black and you really wanted to change it, and you're like, oh, I have to change the thread. So this way, I don't even think about it. It's like, oh, okay, wait, let me just get a different color thread, and it goes on so
Right.
nice and easy.
Right.
All right. So they do tell you to top stitch the top of it. That's completely up to you. But what we're going to do is they show you on 17 to create the casing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to stitch around it. And I am going to stitch that on the sewing machine. We're going to make the casing. So you don't want to stitch it. I'll show you. All right. We already have a waistband, so we know that's going to be our front. But for the back, the nice thing is having elastic in the back, leaving the seams open, you just run your elastic through and then close the seam. So you don't have to run it all the way through and try to figure that out. We have lots of little tools to do that. All right, so with this, I am going to sew this 1 inch and a little bit. And I have white thread on the serger, which is on the sewing machine, which is what I have been using. So let's do that first. I probably should have put that other color, but I don't think my grandson will notice that there's 2 different colors of thread.
I don't think he'll notice.
I don't think he'll notice. All right, so with this, I use the 103, and I do
Yeah.
use 1.03, which is going to reverse it back and forth. The reverse and the scissor function, which everybody needs a scissor function on their machine. All right, so I use the guides on here. I just have a 1/4 inch split on here, but that's okay. So this is where the 1 is, and you can see it on the throat plate, which I really like that they've come up with some lines on the front because it makes it so much easier. So I'm doing this right at the side seam. And I'm just following along on that line, on that 1. I think maybe while we're here, I'll do a top stitch on it too. So then when we get to the other side, we're going to stop. Again, so when you stop with the upside down arrow, it's going to go back and forth. When you stop with the little button, it's going to go back. It's going to go in place. All right, No, I didn't do the whole thing. You have to go all the way across. Oops. I thought I was to the other, oops, I thought I was to the other seam. I came to a seam, but not the right one. If you take the, we put the extension table on this, which I like, but if you don't have the extension table, you would have a free arm that you could just do this in a circle. Now we're to the other one. I'm just going to stitch it back and forth. All right. While we have it here, I'm going to do this on the edge. Let's see what feet I have. One thing I like, if I don't have an edge stitch, I'm going to just use the J foot, but I'll show you how to use some of the things on your machine. Okay. So on the Solaris, the left-right shift is what you use. If you don't have a Solaris, what you would use is the width, because when you're doing a straight stitch, you need a length. You don't need a width. So the machine knows that you're doing a straight stitch, so it's going to move your needle left and right. If you're doing a zigzag, it needs the width. All right, so with this one, so this is the J foot, which everybody has on their machine. And if I line up the inner foot of my J foot with the edge, and then I add some shift to it, it's going to move my needle. Oh, maybe that's how the further it goes. Does it look like it's moving? Yeah, it does. Okay. It's a left, so if you move it up, it's going to go right. If you move it down, it's going to go left. So, and it gives you some really good motions, some good space in there. So this will be a good edge. The other thing a top stitch does is it helps to make the casing kind of a little sturdier. It's not going to, your elastic isn't going to shift in it. And I do everything at a 2.5. They said yesterday, quilters use a 2. I use a 2.5. Sometimes you want top stitching a little bit bigger, so maybe you want to do it as a 3. But that's all personal choice. All right. It should take a long time for a little pair of shorts to go around.
You're making it look easy, is what they say.
Oh. You know, it's taking your time with it. You get really comfortable. Sometimes you get too comfortable and you think, oh, I should have read the directions first. Which has happened a time or two. All right, so we're now, all right, into the back. So that one's just going to go in place. Okay. So there's the front, there's the back. We have our casing.
Come back up.
And I did not bring the elastic,
That's okay.
the little elastic tool.
We might be running low on time. If we
Okay.
want to get, I think Steve has something to show us,
Oh, okay.
and we've got a couple of products at least. But
Okay. You know what? We can finish this, and we can finish, and I can show you how to line them next week.
next week,
Yeah, let's
That
do
sounds
that.
great.
We can finish that. I know we really want to make sure that we get, we're not running hours behind on everybody's shows.
well, I
So-
think I just heard Steve get a phone call. So why don't we
Okay.
just talk about some of the things
Okay.
in this lineup?
So we did the Serger kit, and thank you for the help on that tool.
the dental tool. I think Steve knows what those are called. From
Oh, good.
his,
Well, we'll keep
experience
that
in
out for
dentistry.
him. All right, we got the pattern in the kit.
The pattern is Robert 6 to 6 years, 6 months to 6 years.
6 years, yep.
And you have a kit, a 3-pair of
a
Robert
3-pair.
Boys shorts.
Yep.
Awesome, fun little project.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned cutting first, and then serging, and I like that. So you have a cutting day and a sewing day.
A sewing day, yeah. I used to have a sewing room and I had a cutting table.
Cutting station.
Like a yeah, so my table was up all the time. But now I don't. So I have to be creative and that's why the project bags come in handy, because I can put all the projects in them. And honestly, I found project bags that I moved, kits of things that I need to finish. So they're now all culled in one place.
So we used our hot ruler.
The hot ruler, a must.
Another must is the Panasonic iron.
The iron.
And a wool pressing mat.
Yeah, you do need to have a pressing mat under it, especially if you're doing it like this on a board. It will warp your board.
Some things that Gloria brought over, and I know.
Oh, she found some specials.
So people, when you are asked to hem, can you please hem this for me?
Instead, take this out of your purse and
here
give it
you
to
go.
them.
Is a mini compact
It's a little sewing
kit.
kit. And we have, there's buttons, and there are, what's that? There are buttons, a sewing machine, and
They're assorted
cushion.
designs, I believe.
So, and it has a little seam ripper. I think is this a needle threader? What is this now? Let's see, surprise. Oh, it has needles in it. That's nice. That's actually a kind of handy thing for anybody's purse. There's some pins, some snaps, a tape measure for when you're at that wedding and they need you to hem somebody's pants or fix the strap on somebody's dress.
Yeah. So all the people in the groom's party, you can just hand these out.
Control. Yeah, exactly. Here you go. You need something hemmed? There you go.
And then we have, I love this.
Oh, that little trash can.
It's a so tidy
it's
rubbish bin.
And sitting on, we actually use this one in the kit cutting room.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, because you have little pieces and you just kind of fling them in.
You jam them in the rubbish.
And they fit in the trash can.
And you're good to go.
So it's a cute little, and I think it comes in different colors too.
Red and blue, I believe.
Yeah.
But I think you don't get a choice. It's another assortment.
Assorted colors.
And then, what else do we have here that we can talk about
So the
real
pins,
quick?
the glass head pins, because you can iron over those.
Because they're
sometimes
amazing.
You do. Yeah, sometimes you need to.
We always need pins, it seems like. What else do we have? I'm going to go grab Steve real quick.
So we do have the Triumph.
The Triumph?
The Ovation. We do have a used, previously loved Ovation, which was the machine before the Triumph. It's another 8-thread machine. And he has the Euphoria over there too. The Euphoria is a machine that is just cover stitch. So if you have enough space and you're doing a lot of sewing, a cover stitch is nice for that very reason. So you can have a machine that just is set up for that, and then you could be serging on your other serger.
And we're going to do the Euphoria first, so I'll just click on it here,
Okay.
and then we'll go over and talk to Steve.
Okay, so he has the Euphoria over there.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. All I have is the Triumph.
And he has the Ovation.
Yeah, he has the Ovation, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a very good day for that.
All right. Take it away.
Okay. So hi everyone. Welcome. So I wanted to share with you guys again about the Euphoria. The Euphoria is our new cover stitch only machine from Baby Lock that it can accept attachments, and we've been making these belt loops. And I just wanted to show you how easy it is to make belt loops with this because it folds the fabric and finishes it off for you. I have a 2-thread cover stitch, so needles in the 1 and 3 positions, so the 2 outside positions. This can do up to a 3 needle cover stitch, but I have the attachment on here. So it comes with this plate automatically here, and it has our jetter threading for the loopers, and it has a really nice needle threader too. But the line, to get this foot set up, this is the 3/4 inch belt loop binder, and we're going to attach it to the machine. And you want to make sure you put your foot down to start, and you want to make sure that the end of this is as close to your foot without touching it. So I'm just going to put this in place here. So I'm going to center the opening of this front with the 3 needle markings on the foot. So put this in. So we'll give those a tighten. There is a screwdriver behind you, PJ, that I need to reach for real quick. So this one. So you go ahead and get it in place and give those a tighten. These 2 screws here, if you loosen these 2, this allows you to move the attachment a little bit forward or back. So I'm just gonna move it a little bit forward right there and just go ahead and tighten these back up. So always run a test sew before you get started. And I have my strips cut here. Now I cut these a little wider. Usually the 3/4 inch belt loop binder, you can cut them at 1 inch. I think I cut these 1 1/8 or so, but they will still work. So to start, I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to fold it, and we're going to make just a point. You just want a point to be able to go into the machine. So you're going to take that, start feeding it into the machine. Now this strip is a little wider, but it'll still work. So go into the machine this way. Here it comes, and just pull that out. There we go. And we're going to give it a run here, give this a test. And look at that, a perfectly made belt loop.
Nice.
So if you want to use these as belt loops, you can on a pair of pants. For a strap on a top, you could use it for a strap on the top up there. But really, it's like, I'm going to lay it down so you can get a zoomed in look at that. It looks perfect. So that's the top, and there's the back. So if you have space in your room for another machine, it's nice to have one set up for cover stitch and one set up for overlock. So you can leave the Euphoria. It's a cover stitch only machine. It has automatic tensions, so there isn't that to adjust. There's no other tension knobs up here. So it's a great Serger, and it's on sale right now for $15.99. So it's a great option if you just need a cover stitch only machine. Another machine that I wanted to share with you guys today is the Baby Lock Ovation. This is a pre-owned machine. This is a pre-loved machine. I have it set up for the 4-thread overlock. And Sherry, can I borrow that card from the?
Oh yes.
Yes. So let's see. I'm just going to stitch some regular fabric here with a 4-thread overlock. Oh, thank you. So. Look how beautiful balanced that stitch is.
Somebody's calling you
Someone's
about
calling to get
the
a new
ovation.
machine. Yes.
They just saw this. They just saw the
Just
ovation.
saw
They
it.
won it.
Yes, that's good. So this is a perfect balance stitch for a 4-thread overlock. If you need to finish off the edge of a fabric, or if you're joining 2 fabrics together. Also, if you're sewing through something thicker like denim, it'll handle thicker fabrics too. So it'll go right through denim, and then if you fold this up. We'll go through several layers of denim.
Get out of
Finished
here.
off here. So there, underneath there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of denim, I think. 5, 6 layers. And it'll go right through that. So do this edge here. So it nicely trims, balanced, perfect stitch, always with the baby lock.
And this
Even-
threads like the Triumph.
Yes, it does. Threads just like the Triumph push thread. The only difference really about, well, some of the differences between the Ovation and the Triumph are the presser foot lifts in a little different place, and the Triumph has the air threading needles. This one doesn't have the air threading needles, but it is a really nice serger. Another thing is that if you're putting like a neckline in here, so we have a knit here that's got a curve in it, and we've got a piece of ribbon here. So I'm going to take our ribbon, I'm going to fold our ribbon in half. And we'll start up here. And we'll just fold that, always trimming something off as you go here. So we'll match those up. Where is it? There it is. So what does that look like?
Looks like a shirt collar.
Looks like a neckline collar,
Neckline.
does it?
Very nice.
Yeah. So it's, you get a professional look to finish off edges like that. So that looks like a perfect neckline. So it's easy to achieve on a curve like that too.
Do we want to see the back of that? Or?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice
Look
and
at that.
balanced.
Perfect.
Even on a stretchy knit, it still works. Other stitches I really like are the rolled edge. So right now I have 2 needles in. So we are going to switch to a 3-thread rolled edge. So I'm going to take 1 needle out and let's pull this up. So I'm going to hold on to that needle and we're taking the left needle out. So let's loosen that one. You can leave the screw loose because it has a safety in there that it doesn't, the screw doesn't come any looser. So then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to clip this needle thread up there and we're going to pull that one. Let's see, this one here is it this one? Yep, that one. Okay, good. So that one's pulled out now, and we're going to switch to a 3-thread overlock rolled edge. So we're going to switch to the rolled edge side here, and we're on stitch selector D, and I think that's all we need to change. So let's check out this rolled edge. We can even do it on a knit here. This here. It's a real fine organza. So if it's like the edge of a silk scarf, let's make that a little longer there. Try one more time on this side here. So there it is. So to finish off like the edge of a silk scarf or napkins, it's a perfect stitch to do that with. So
Fantastic.
the Ovation is a pre-loved machine, so we can ship it. Zach goes through it and makes sure it's all serviced. It comes with all the accessories when it was new. So if you're looking for a really great serger, and these sergers run forever. So this is a really nice one for you to get to. So
Love the Ovation.
yes. And we have the Triumph on special too. If you want a new Triumph, we can get you a new Triumph too. So just give us a call and we'll get you your new machine. So
Steve, option 2.
yes, yes, 412-344-2330, option 2, and we can talk. So
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Do you want to go see
think-
if there's any questions about the Sergers, and then we'll just
Okay.
we'll end there. I'll follow
Good.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, good. Shirley loves her ovation.
How about a chain stitch
We can do, you know what, well, let's do that next week.
next week?
We'll do the chain stitch, we'll do the cover stitch, we'll do all of those extra things.
Perfect.
I feel like our lunch hour is well over.
Well over. So if there's no major questions, we'll end there, and we'll be back.
And then Kathy and Mary Lou will be back for Kimberbell at 3. Tomorrow's our favorite things, which is always a fun night.
Yes.
And then I will see you next week.
All right. Thank you
Alrighty.
so much. See you
Bye-bye.
at 3. Bye-bye.
No, we're
Oh,
done.
okay.
No, we're done. I
No,
thought
tell
we
us
were-
what the tool is. We're
Oh,
back.
tell what the tool is? Okay.
Yes.
So this tool is to help feed the fabric. It just helps position the fabric so that you can, it's almost like a stiletto to help feed the fabric.
Oh,
In dentistry,
okay.
that would be
But doesn't it
called.
look like a dental tool?
It does, yes.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
yeah, yep. Like a curette or a scaler is what it looks like, so,
Oh, I'd much rather have it something else.
yes.
All right.
So Sherry Domenko Federkiel, you got it right. It's a fabric control tool. All right. Thank you. everyone.
We can do chain stitch. We'll do chain stitch next week.
Next week.
Chain stitch
Yep.
next week.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Goodbye again.